Support your locals, starting with Space Smoke Shop, located on 125 East Pennington Street, Tucson, Arizona.
Space Smoke Shop features local glass, cheap tobacco, and any drink you can think of. We're also a hookah lounge and a venue. Like us on Facebook to keep up with shows, deals, and products.
Every second and fourth Tuesday is Punk Rock Tuesday at Space Smoke Shop, 125 East Pennington Street, downtown Tucson, Arizona. Be sure and tell them you heard about it on the GMR Podcast.
GMR. You are listening to the GMR Podcast. You can hear my show on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Stitcher is an award-winning free app that lets you listen to all your favorite shows, plus discover from 20,000 news, entertainment, and sports shows. Create custom playlists. Rate and review the GMR Podcast on Stitcher. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad. And over 4 million car dashboards.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, and no wasted memory. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store. Wow. 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 Wow.
It's GMR Podcast, show 68, also into television show 200 and something, 250 something. We're back. It seems like forever, but we're back. And how long will we be back? Forever and ever, because this is a podcast that exists completely outside of this studio. Since the last time we did a show, they're trying to kill the studio again. That's not new news, not at all. It's been happening for, I could show you tapes from 1988 where they're talking about the funding's going to get cut next week. So, But this one's more dire than the last because aren't they all? So if that happens, we'll be doing our funeral for AccessTucson.
I've cried wolf so many times, it's almost, the city
crying
council.
wolf. Yeah, quit toying with our emotions, city council. Go find something else to torture. We're going to take your money away. We're going to take your money away. Just stop it. Just stop it.
And they've been doing it for like nickel and diming. Oh, we take this little bit amount of money away. We take this money away.
They take millions.
Take it all.
Actually, I think they took all the money away, and then they decided to give us a little bit of it.
They can't stop the podcast, though. They can't stop the podcast.
Gross.
No, this is going to be on
they can't
for
destroy
quite
us.
some time.
They wanted it on YouTube.
Yeah, we are on YouTube.
That is the natural evolution of television, of public access.
Yeah, because that is the free speech.
Well,
but the problem is you can't flip through your TV and find it. If you don't know to go look for it, you don't see it. It gets swallowed up in the sea of YouTube.
Right.
There's a lot
That's
of
correct.
YouTube.
Yeah, there is.
So they're just trying to eliminate free speech. They don't like to hear people griping about the problems that they're creating. So shut it down.
They're creating a lot of problems now. Trying to sell the building. Does that mean the person who buys the building gets the other part of the parking lot that we can't park on? Is that thrown in too?
Probably it's going to be a big deal, and they're going to build a big old hotel or something.
Oh,
It's gonna be
wonderful. And then we'll
commercial.
be able to do TV from that hotel.
So
There you go.
What are they selling the property for? We should get a Kickstarter up and buy this fucking
That's right.
property.
Really?
Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
And then we can sell it back to the city.
1.7 million,
for
I
like-
think, is the estimate.
Oh, that doesn't
That's
sound
nothing.
that bad.
We
That
can
sounds-
raise that on Kickstarter.
We
Let's
totally
try it.
could, dude. Why don't we try it? You laugh, Kevin.
No, I'm not laughing.
Oh, well, okay.
But, you know, I've
We're always
encouraged
laughing.
the home viewer to send
No.
what they spend on a cup of coffee a day every month, which was what used to be the cable bill money that come to us. So if everybody would send us $2 for that cup of coffee, which you can't even get a cup of coffee for $2 anymore, we'd have our budget.
But
You
if
know,
we-
That's all
So-
it takes. So stop drinking coffee.
one cup of coffee a month.
I kill you. I want my coffee.
One.
Yeah, see.
You can't do that for free speech. Come on.
Of course I do it for free speech.
But then he has no energy to do the free speech without the coffee.
Gotta have coffee. Man.
Pie and coffee. It's been
But I
cut
can give
off
up
now
coffee 'cause
because
I can drink a
there's a
Pepsi
new
instead.
show on at 8 o'clock, and
Except I
they
don't
don't
like
have pie and
Pepsi.
coffee for
I like
us.
cold.
So
What, this new show tonight?
it's the new show in
there's
the
no pie and
alleyway,
coffee?
3 a.m.
I heard it's
Tonight?
the bunny show.
Devi's gonna come on and make fun of us for a little bit here in a bit.
I love those
That'll
shows.
be good.
Hey, all I got to say is, man, they're going to, they want you guys off the air, man. I mean, the TV just went blank now. All right, now I see again.
See
All
what
right,
happened?
That's what
Marty,
happens.
I've been watching Access since it started. I tell you, in '86, watching,
Those are
you're
my early
the
shows.
expert. You know what I mean? I mean,
86,
I've been
yeah.
watching since then, and they're doing everything they can to get you guys off TV. They don't want free speech. Those politicians do not want free speech, not only in Tucson, in all of America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and so they're going to, one way or the other, they're going to get you guys off TV. I hate to see it happen because I watch it all the time. But man, I mean, the writing's on the wall.
It's the end of television. 11 years running, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, and they've been trying, like I say, man, and they're going to do it this time, and they're going to blame it on the budget, like you say. That franchise fee that I pay for my Comcast TV is supposed to pay for you. That's what the government set up. And do you see the government or anybody from the city fighting to enforce that?
I understand. I think I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think the contract has been up for some time on that original deal for the between the city
they're not.
and
they don't really
AccessTucson.
want people to say what's really
I
going
agree.
on. I mean,
I agree with you, sir.
It's politics, man. It's just like
Well, sure. It's the
going
money,
back to
man.
I mean,
who are they going to take money from
Vietnam
when they've
and
already
everything
taken
else,
all of
when
our money?
people
They're
were
going to go
screaming,
somebody else.
They didn't want to hear
'Cause it's
you
never
screaming.
enough.
Lyndon Johnson just escalated the war. His
Lyndon
son wasn't
Johnson.
going to war,
Wow.
man. They're not worried about us.
Have you ever seen Where the Buffalo Roam, the movie?
No, I never did.
Yeah, I started to watch it for the first time today. It's Bill Murray, and there's a tremendous cast in this, but you should watch that.
Off subject.
All right.
It's
So
all
let me
subject.
let me say this. You as a viewer being outraged, sue the city. Tell them you want your public access. What if 3 or 4 people? What if you had a joint lawsuit saying you wanted your public access? That might just scare the shit out
Keep
of
us
those
on
guys.
a little bit longer at least,
Right?
right?
Yeah,
I would think it
that's
would.
true. That
There isn't a
that
lot
may work.
because you
But,
are
really,
paying.
when you look at it
gonna
legally, they're bound by that franchise contract that they made with the cable company.
That's right.
And I don't see the cable company trying to keep you guys on the air.
Oh, they could care less. You
That's
know.
what I mean. That's
They
what
wanna
I
put
mean. You
something
got
else on
nobody
this channel.
fighting
Right.
for you, man. You got nobody fighting for you. The city council they don't want to have people saying what's really going on in the city on TV and expressing their views. The government doesn't want that, not only city-wise, like I say, nationally-wise, and they're trying to suppress the people forever. And with Obama there, he's doing it more and more, taking away more and more rights, blaming it.
Well,
Blaming it all
Bush
on,
started it first.
It's
All these
called the
cuts
government.
started
Homeland
under
Security.
Bush.
Once that
This place
Homeland
was open
Security
until
bill
1
passed,
a.m.
That government now has
And then
control over
the 9/11
everything we
happened,
do,
Well,
man.
and our funding started getting
they're
cut.
watching all your emails. They're watching
Yeah,
everything
that's
that
the
you're doing.
government.
All your
I
your
coulda
cell
told
phones,
you-
everything.
Napster
That
didn't
government
Well,
help
knows
if you don't do
either.
anything bad, you have
everybody's
nothing to
doing.
worry about. You know?
That's true. That's what they all say,
So-
though, Kevin. But if
Well,
if you
Sunday at
really
4
gave
a.m.
a fuck about it, I use that word. I'm sorry. If
Yeah,
you had really
podcast.
cared about it 30, 40 years ago, when it was well aware that this was where the country was going, you remember 20, 30 years ago, Kevin? We all knew they were. We already figured back then they were monitoring everything.
Oh,
But
sure. Look at
now we
Watergate.
know
Look at
for a
Watergate,
fact.
man.
That's why my
Look at
internet's so
Watergate.
slow,
I
'cause
mean,
they're on there
they're
monitoring me while I'm
monitoring each
surfing.
other. CIA's been monitoring people
That's why your
forever, but
computer
now
crashed.
it makes it so
So-
easy.
so
I mean, all they got to do is
why
look
get-
at your cell phone record, and they know everybody
what?
you talk to, every text message. All they got to look at as on your internet history.
So?
And all these providers, Google and all those people are giving them all your records.
What's the phone caller's name?
It's keeping them busy so they're
Dennis?
not blowing people up. That's the way that
Dennis,
I look at
let me ask you, why didn't you care 30 years ago? Why, guess what? We lost the revolution a long time ago, my friend.
We have another caller on.
We're lucky we have anything
we have
at all.
You asked for
Guess
it.
what? You know what?
Yeah.
You didn't vote. I don't know if you voted for Obama, but you voted for somebody.
Hold
and
on a
it's
second,
all
caller.
the same thing. Well, not Obama.
No. Tell you the truth, I didn't vote, and I
You've
I
never
probably
voted?
can't say too much, but I didn't vote because there was nobody worth voting for, as far as I was concerned.
You know,
what,
we
this
have
time or last time?
Lesser of two evils.
We have a second caller who is welcome to join in. Second
We have a
person.
conference call.
If we're on a conference call, I guess you can hear this.
That's
but
cool.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you. Perfect.
We can
Hi,
hear you.
welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I have some information that's going to blow your freaking mind.
Blow
Tell
our
you
minds.
that everything is on the internet that you need to know to save public access.
Yeah, sign the petition, write the city council.
No, nothing to do with that. The first thing is the master operating agreement.
Okay.
One is due to be redone in 2016.
Right. Okay.
But the current one, the licensing fee that Cox pays, I got to turn myself down here because I'm getting a...
It goes into the general fund. They changed that a while back when we lost all the
They changed
channels.
it when I was on the board, but let me
Right.
tell you what it is. When I was on the board, it was $2 million.
Right.
That's what it is now. Do you have a clue?
Oh, it's $5 million. They're getting $5 million from
Now, $5.25 million
Building with that.
and 5% of gross revenue.
Right.
So, throw another million or two on for that.
Right. So the money is there. They just want to use it for other things besides freedom of speech and.
Well, there is
And
still
the
the
community.
federal cable law.
Okay.
Yeah, but they don't enforce that. The federal government isn't going to enforce that cable law. They're the ones trying to suppress it. They could care less. You could get in front of 15 judges before it ever gets passed. The federal government could care less about any access stations.
And who
Look
even
at all
has
the
cable
states
TV
that used to have
anymore?
access.
How
and
many
they all went
people
off
in the
the air.
city of
How many
Tucson have
how
a
many
clue
cities?
that the
How
city
many
of
cities
Tucson
now
is
have
getting
access that they all used to? And do you see the
dollars?
federal government caring about that at all?
I'm telling you, the city of Tucson people who pay their cable fees and want their public access are going to scream when they hear there's that kind of money and revenue going into the city, and it's not
Called
going
Jacoby
in.
and Myers, formed a lawsuit.
And what's his name? The city manager could care less. He could
No,
care
that's
less,
right.
to tell you the truth. We had 300,000 people standing in front of the Washington Monument screaming to stop the war, and it did nothing at all.
Right.
You're
They
giving
could
them
care
the
less.
power, and you know what? Don't be so sure they have it.
Well,
Yeah,
the cable subscriber is paying extra for the
Yeah.
trolley, is what
I'm
it
paying,
is.
I'm paying a fee. I'm paying that fee every month for my. But I don't see Comcast yelling and saying, "Hey, we're collecting this fee."
How
from
much
these
are you
people."
paying? Do you know how much
Do you
you're
know,
paying?
And we-
actually, the only system that we've got to deal with this is the judicial system, and that's the only way that it's ever going to really, truly get something
Yep.
done. You may gripe and
you-
groan about all the judges, like see this judge, see that judge, but that's the process that we have to, we have
Yeah,
to work
but you know
the
what's going to
framework.
happen there? It's going to cost so much
Yeah.
money.
Short-
that they're
short
gonna
of
just
anarchy-
ride it out. They're going to ride it out, so you guys don't. The people don't have the money to do it.
Well,
That's all they're
short of
gonna do.
anarchy,
city
that's
will
the
just
only
keep
way we can
riding
do it.
out, right, until finally they get rid of public access. They do not want free speech in America. I know how valuable access can be to people.
Well, I think a lot of the
And,
problem is
still
who
is.
has
It
cable
gets-
TV
it gets-
anymore.
It's still very valuable.
It
It's
is,
such
yeah,
a resource
because
that
it
people
gets- it
don't
gets
realize
the average
what is
person's
down here.
view out. And
This place is a gem.
That's true, and people don't know about this
really
place.
know what the people really want. But like I say,
because they're not
government in
aware of
the
this
city does
the
not want
facilities
that.
available. They're not aware of everything that's down here, ready to go, ready to use. Bam.
Also, they want the building. And you know what?
Yeah.
Public access doesn't have to be in that building.
That's true.
There is no plan.
Channel 12 used to be
There
somewhere
needs
else.
to be a plan, because the best place, I think, and I was on the IT committee the first 4 years when all the cable line was being laid in this town. Plus, I was on the board for 8 years at AccessTucson. What I know is this, and I've got the maps of where all the cable lines are. There are a variety of places where the station could be moved to. And to me, in my mind, the place with the most hookups and of the most value to the city of Tucson would be to move Access Tucson and Channel 12 into TCC Arena.
Well, that'd be good, but as long as we're downtown, on the bus lines, easy access.
In the proposal, did
there's parking.
they mention anything
There's
about moving?
Parking. You have no parking
they want to zero
We have to have
out.
a car to park. We went on the bus line.
Well,
they want to zero it out. They don't want to move you. They know they have all
It's
those
totally
options.
on the
I'm
bus
telling you,
line.
they want to silence
Number
Access
7.
Tucson. The
want
city
the buildings.
council and the city manager
6.
wants to
Want
do
the
away
building.
with Access
That's the bottom
TV.
line. The building is millions. They want the building.
Yeah,
And the
but
hotel across
they know they can move you somewhere. Did you hear anybody or any council person or anybody say anything when he talked about that budget about, well, why don't we move them? No, it was
These
all
people
zero them
don't-
out and sell
Join the
building.
conversation. Two
These
lines are
people
still
don't
open.
think along those lines. And, at the city, they don't know where it could be moved. It needs to be moved.
The city,
If they want to sell
city
the
manager,
building, let
the
them
city
sell
manager
the
knows
building.
where
I
it
know
can be
they do.
moved.
I've
The
called
city
around the
manager,
city council
if he
offices.
doesn't know what buildings are available to him as a city, then he's not a very good city manager, which he isn't
There's
anyway.
plenty of empty
But,
buildings downtown.
They know what they're doing. I'm telling you.
They don't
know
have
what they're
the cable
doing,
access.
and they're trying to eliminate Access TV, and that's the bottom line. They've been trying for years and years and years. Back in '86, it used to be on Channel 40s. You used to be able to have the show all night long. Any night you wanted, you went down there and everything. And slowly they're phasing out every time budget comes up, Access Tucson. Well, I'm telling you, this time that's going to be their excuse. We want to sell the building. They're not going to offer to move you guys anywhere. I hate to say
it has
I
to
hate
be
to see
demanded.
it go.
What happens to the
Has to
channel
be-
then?
There are enough
Infomercial.
people that can do this.
But it's still our channel, though.
I like a lot of the things you're saying, and I at least acknowledge the possibility that the bad guys are out to get us. It would seem at every turn, whenever the chips fall, they fall on the other side, not on our side. We're losing our free speech. In fact, the only amendment out of the 10 that hasn't been trounced on is the Third Amendment, the right to have the military come into your home and use your resource, take your food, kill your dog, chase your wife, whatever. Number 3 is the only one, oddly enough, and all the others seem to be used to work in our favor. Slowly but surely, what's happening, my own personal opinion now, I could have my head up my butt, I have a number of times before, but it seems as if the powers that be are trying to separate themselves from A, listening to the general population, and B, responding to the general population. If they can't hear from us, conversally, it also means we probably can't hear from them either.
Taking the
They
words
don't
right
want to
out
hear
of my
what we
mouth,
have
man.
to
Just
say.
what I said. They
The
don't
idea
want
that-
us to get our word out.
May
They
I
do
speak?
not
May I
want
speak, please?
the normal person to get his word out. They've taken away all our rights.
Slowly
we're more
but
of
surely,
a socialist
yes.
country than we've ever been, and it's 2014, and we're more of a socialist country than we've ever been, and we're heading more and more
Well,
in
actually,
that
what we
direction.
have now, we are basically an oligarchy. We're no longer a democracy. We're not
Well,
a
there you go.
Well, we were never a
oligarchy.
democracy.
A
You know,
select
we were a
few in
republic.
charge, pulling the puppet strings. Let's talk about the city.
Not very social.
That's a whole other
Antisocial in
podcast.
to a great extent. Let's talk about the city and the contract that we're dealing with here for Access Tucson. I was under the misimpression that it was a $5 million deal. That was cut back a few years ago. The money that's going to the city on an annual, and we're not talking chump change here anyway, it's $3.4 million that goes to the city of Tucson for cable franchise fees. The 5% that used to be drawn, the 5% of the gross revenue that the cable company generated was to go to the city to a special fund to handle us, to pay for us. That is no longer in effect. It apparently is no longer a 5% hit on the gross revenue. But it is $3.4 million, and that's been going on for a long damn time, since 2001, to the best of my knowledge, maybe even more money back then. I know we got cut because the city or the cable company claimed poverty. Oh, we've lost.
Like
We've lost viewership. We're losing money, so give us a break. But they're gathering at least $3 million. Let's round it off and call it $3 million a year.
So why does the
can I finish,
2007
please?
contract say $5.25 million?
Well, they're claiming poverty, except there are people in the city attorney's office who say, "Oh, well, we can do that. That's okay. That's not a problem."
Amen.
I'm flat fucking. I'm incensed by the fact that all of this money for years has been going from the cable company, which originally the original intent for cable was communication, both the big boy networks and the local community. At one time, there was an FCC regulation that said if there is cable in your town, there will also be community programming. I don't know what happened to that law. I would like to know what entities came along and said, oh, well, we can ignore that law. Has the law been changed? I'd like to know that. I claim potential ignorance there. I would like to know if the law has changed, who changed it, when was it changed?
They're all claiming
For much longer, nobody will be on cable. It'll be satellite and
they cut their budget. And that's the way they got rid of them all. There used to be access stations all over the country.
All over the country.
And
the very same thing is
more or left. Not very many, I'm sure.
The very same thing is happening. There was a young lady that came to a meeting we had last Tuesday from the outfit, the Access Channel in New Mexico, northern New Mexico, Albuquerque.
7 weeks.
She said that the city fathers tried the same thing there, but that outlet got together and sued them and won. And apparently it was based on the simple fact that nobody can prove or demonstrate the law that actually gives the local franchise, the local entity, the county, city, whatever government, the right to take that money away and do other things with it. What happened to us when the first contract with Cox Cable expired in 2001, that money was suddenly, instead of going to a specific account for access, public, educational, government access, it no longer went to that special account. It was put in the general fund for the city, which means they can do anything they want with it.
And they are.
Absolutely. Slowly but surely, they've been incrementally cutting it down.
Untrackable.
And I think it's absolutely nuts. My solution to the problem is Channel 12, Lord love Gene, the manager at 12. He's a terrific guy. Their staff are great people. They do marvelous work.
Yes, they do. They have
But
Emmys.
I don't know whether the city can really afford to spend money on a cable city channel, let the public access channel drift away, when in fact the public access channel does the same thing that Channel 12 does. We've been doing the same stuff that Channel 12 does for 30 years here. We go out and do interviews. We do in-house interviews. We do separate projects designed to deal with a specific topic. What AccessTucson needs, let me finish, what has to happen is they need to give the responsibility of what Channel 12 does to AccessTucson plus another $200,000. That means we can hire another staff person to entirely dedicated to whenever the city has a project, that staff person takes care of that project. We have enough crew here with enough smarts to do any kind of process, any kind of production, be it editing all the way to sweeping out the latrines at night. We've got people here who can do all of that for a damn sight cheaper than what the city's paying Channel 12. So what has to happen? They need to give us more money, give us that channel. That'll double our output. We can open a couple more nights a week with an extra $200,000, and we can also hire a couple of part-time staff, including a top-notch engineer, to take care of the toys here. Equipment needs to be fixed. Nobody's talking about engineering, but that's
we
crucial.
need new equipment. We need HD stuff. We need to keep up with the times.
We can make work with what we have, and right now in this austere moment, we need to concern ourselves with doing the job, getting better as we go. See, Lord love Gene for winning Emmys. Channel 12 is one. Channel 12 has won a number of Emmy Awards, regional Emmys. That's great. But I'm not sure that it's important that the word get out versus doing fancy schmancy programs that generate awards. Get the information out, and that brings us back to public access, my friend. That's what we've been doing here for 30 years. Get the word out. We can do it cheaper. The idea of putting Channel 12 on the internet to deliver the city council meetings is a joke. There's only 250 possible subscribers at any one time because of the limited bandwidth, which means a lot of the seniors in this town who are not computer savvy will never be able to watch the city council meetings, and those people rely on that.
Well, that's probably what they want, too. People not to know what they're doing.
That's what I was saying to begin with. They're separating. They don't want to hear from us. They don't want to deal with us. At least it appears. I hope I'm wrong, but it appears that it might be that way.
As far as I see, they're doing everything in their power to get free speech taken off the air.
Well, if they do, this program will continue because we're a
Yeah.
podcast. So even if they do
What the heck
kill
is
us
it?
here,
Hey,
they
hey,
can't
Marty,
stop
hey,
any of
Marty,
our shows.
What
so.
the heck is a podcast, man?
What is a
I'm
podcast?
not up on that.
A
What is
podcast.
a podcast?
A podcast is a talk radio program on the internet.
No video, just
Yeah.
audio.
We do this show every week from a different location, and then we post it on the internet so you can listen to it for free.
And where do you go on the internet to find it?
Well, it's called the GMR Podcast. It's on.
Here I see it.
It's
Okay.
on YouTube, and you could just Google it. We have a bunch of different sites. We have a Facebook page. We're on Twitter. And what we do is we take the sound from this program you're watching now and put that online as a talk radio program. And because we only get to do the show one day a month down here,
Yeah.
every other week we're continuing doing the program, but just from a different location. And
You do it from home, or
yeah,
where
we can do it from home. We can do it from anywhere. I got
Cafe.
a digital recorder now. I can carry
I like
around
that
anywhere.
idea.
And
Yeah,
you know,
let me
Call Me
ask you one
Crazy and
other thing
Robert's
that-
show.
that's
Those
all-
shows would continue on YouTube as well if this place got shut down. So
All right, that's good to know. Let me ask you one other thing that's off the whole subject. Are you going to Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, 7 weeks to Comic-Con. I haven't talked
Yeah.
about that yet. I think they've announced.
my daughter's going. She was
Yeah.
telling me she's going up there. So I was going, oh, man, I hear this guy Marty talk about Comic-Con all the time.
Yeah,
man. She's
we'll be
been
doing
going
a
all
show
these years.
from up there.
Somebody's
so.
going to be up there that's some old man that she wants to meet. I don't know. I'm sure you know who she's
Oh, there's
talking
a bunch of them up there. Stan Lee might be one of
Right.
them.
about. Yeah.
He's about 92.
Somebody, I don't know. But anyway, all right, Marty, like I say, I hope I get to talk to you guys again, man.
Yeah.
I hope you stay on the air because
Yes.
it's the only place you really hear what's real in the world, you know what I mean?
That's
I
true.
mean, all the other news channels, Fox, this, that, it's all garbage. It's
Right.
all
They all have
garbage,
their own
you know what I mean?
agendas,
The only news station worth watching is what comes on there, too, and Democracy Now! That's
Right.
the only news that's worth watching as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Well, maybe the
Nope.
city council will wake up. We got to put the pressure on them. They'll realize, the money is there. It's not killing them. The money they take is not going to solve any of their problems. They're going to have to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you,
they
man.
need to be our partners. We enhance the downtown area. People that come to these shows go
Yeah.
out and eat dinner. They stimulate the economy.
See, it
we're
can still be
stimulating
done.
the
It can still
economy.
be
Across
done.
the street to the
It's a plus
coffee
plus.
shop.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to take that out too. I don't know what they're building over there. There's something
Oh, wow.
Johnny Gibson
Oh,
Court,
really, huh?
a hotel, Marriott Hotel, and Johnny Gibson. That whole
God.
block they're turning into something. I've looked on the internet and it's not there yet. So they're planning it behind closed doors. But
Oh, that's too bad.
but yeah, it's become downtown has become a very valuable property with the streetcar coming through. They can get some bids
that's
from
another one. That's another
commercial
one. Now that you brought
businesses.
that up, that was another point I wanted to make. They got no money screaming about access, but they can put streetcars in to drive people up and down the street.
Well, they got
you
a
know what I
nice
mean?
grant from the feds for that, so I'm glad they got started, and I'm all for public transportation. So
Yeah, me too. But all right, I give you that one. You're right there, man. You're right there. I'll
I
give
mean,
you
it's
that.
not the best, but you got to get it started, and it needs
Yeah.
to go. It needs to go down to South Tucson. It really needs to expand to work. In a community,
Yeah.
you can't just have
Yeah.
university kids going to the bars.
Take the trolley to the
but it's a
northwest
start.
side.
It's a
Yeah,
start.
well, at least it keeps them from drunk driving, man. There'll be
Well,
a lot
we
of
hope.
There'll be
We
a lot
hope.
of drunks on the tram. That's what it'll be. People
Well,
be having
we'll find
getting
out. It
thrown
might be a
off the-
party
getting
time.
Thrown off the streetcar.
Marty
man.
be doing podcasts from
Party
the
tram.
trolley.
Yeah, we can do a podcast from the trolley once
do
it
that,
starts.
Man. Hey, Marty, do that sometime.
We will,
That ought
we
to be
will.
An interesting one, man. Yeah, do
We're
it like,
mobile now.
after the
We
bars
have the
close
ability
at
to do
night,
these
man,
things.
Steven's on there. That ought to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
You're going to
Have
go
a good
on the
night. I
trolley
hope
Just
you
with
stay
us.
on, man.
Keep positive
And,
thoughts, man. We're going to fight them to the end.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. Hey, I'll email. You got an email, right, Marty?
Yeah. What kind of information? All we have up here right
Well,
now is our
I'll
Twitter
I'll
site.
check
but-
it. I can get it off the Access
got it.
station. If I go to your TV
At
show, it'll
GMR
show me an email
Podcast,
for you,
that's
won't it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way. Just
Yeah. All right.
just Google
All right.
the
I'll
GMR
find it.
podcast.
I'll email you. I'll email you
GMR.
my email. So in case you guys do anything and you need, people to back you, I'll do what I can. Okay, man.
Right on, man.
All
Cool.
right. Take care of yourself.
Thanks for
Nice
joining
to
the
talk
show,
to you.
guy.
Cool.
All right. Nice.
Or,
Bye.
or
Wow, that was pretty cool.
You guys have been tearing this up. We had like a lively conversation. Did it ever get heated?
So
No,
please,
we all agree.
subscribe to our podcast. It's the GMR Podcast. You can search for it on Google or at Twitter. We have a Facebook page. We're on YouTube. You want the show, but you only get it 1 week a month because you just watch the TV. Now you can get it every week.
Right.
This is the 68th podcast.
Wow.
That's right. And 7 weeks to Comic-Con.
7 weeks to Comic-Con, as the caller did bring up there
Yes.
momentarily.
Is he coming to Comic-Con with us?
He said
Daughter.
his daughter was. So
wow.
I think they've announced all the major guests.
Yeah.
As now I'm seeing people that were there last year and the year before being popped up. So
Hey, cameraman,
Well,
get over here and talk.
What do you think? Next week we get the program.
hard to say. Hard to
just
say.
had coffee.
I know as it gets closer to.
Huh?
Oh, and something else
coming
that
to
we
Comic-Con
haven't
with us,
mentioned
Kevin?
yet is last week
No?
after the podcast, we
Yeah?
discovered
Okay.
that
Oh, you got some
Jay and
cats?
Silent Bob Get Old podcast will be
Couple-
recorded live Saturday night at that comedy club down the street from the hotel at Comic-Con.
Are you going to be at the same place you were last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
So how
yeah.
crazy is that? So and
So-
also Education at 10, another one of Kevin Smith's
So you
podcasts.
bought
I was
me-
listening to
you
that for the
bought
first
me
time.
You got an education ticket.
What
I
did-
got a
what
Get
did
Old
Cliff
ticket.
say about it?
Cliff's fucking
Cliff-
ecstatic.
I mean, he's not ecstatic enough to go. Like, I'm gonna see both of them. He's not that ecstatic.
Yeah.
Are they? They're
But
not
he's
both
like
at
going
the
to
same
one.
time,
He's
are
like,
they?
No,
one's at 7, one's at 10.
He's
And
like-
it's cool
Do you know
because
what the
everything's
line's going
kind
to
of
be?
closed
Or,
down
I mean,
at that.
if you, just because you have tickets or
Well, yeah,
those
we got
prepaid,
tickets.
Those are okay.
I'm sure it'll sell out over the next
Prepaid.
7 weeks.
Oh, you know it's probably sold out right now.
And
Or
if
maybe
I-
not. Maybe not.
Well, I haven't even heard it announced officially
Yeah.
from their website.
We must have discovered it just as
that
it
I
came
think
up.
that day. Of course, I haven't listened to anything since last week.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a week behind.
Podcrash came back this week.
Oh, hell
First
yeah.
new show in months.
I keep
Podcrash
wondering
with
why-
Chris Gore.
I keep wondering why you don't delete my old Podcrashes because it's like I've told you many times I've listened to every one. up
Well,
till-
until you go to the very end of the file, it doesn't register as a play, so I don't. We could go
see.
through each one
All right,
and
well,
be
we
like,
can
heard
debate.
it, heard it,
Do we
heard
wanna-
it, heard it.
Do we wanna
Did you
do
watch
this?
the lunar eclipse the other night?
By accident, I caught the orange blood moon.
Blood
I was
moon.
outside at 2 in the
moon.
morning. I looked up and was like, "Wow, that's trippy."
So you got a little bit late on it. I heard it was more around midnight.
Well, it's
I saw
it. It was in its zenith between like it's supposed to be at its peak at 12:47.
There
Wow,
you go.
I saw it after the
and then it
fact.
went on
Well,
for another 3 hours after that.
It's pretty nice. It was crazy.
The last moon like that occurred on the winter equinox, which December 21st, 2012, which was a year. I've discussed this on the podcast.
Yeah, in the
before.
beginning of the podcast, actually, the early days.
That happened a year before the Mayan calendar. 1 year to the day before the Mayan calendar was supposed to end all whatever.
Yeah, and,
That's right.
and
whatever the
you saw
heck
what that got us.
the Mayan calendar was
That got
supposed
us
to
where
do.
we are now.
That's right. Now look at us.
But remember,
it's the end of television.
And
You
then
go.
then I had that short rebirth right after it.
Yeah,
GMR
the boost of
podcast.
energy.
Like I was like, yeah, okay, new world, new situations, and then the world quickly beat the shit out of that, or beat me down.
But you're not in
destroyed.
that place anymore.
No, I'm like 3 steps removed from that or something. I don't know. So, what do you think about Ric Flair? Do you think he's gonna ever win a world championship?
I don't
again?
know, but we devoted all
Again?
last week to wrestling.
Oh, and I can sense from your
Oh, we
tone,
can
you're like,
tell that you're all wrestling out, huh?
Yeah.
It was important to commemorate that last week, and it did get a lot of hits,
Oh, is that
more than
right?
some of the other shows.
Oh, with
so,
the Ultimate Warrior.
yeah. And they'd had the whole
Yeah.
tribute on Raw where they rang the bell 10 times, and JD watched it apparently.
Who's
Yeah, that was-
JB?
JD,
Oh, JD.
yeah,
JD.
No,
JD.
because he was, he was a little kid when Ultimate Warrior was popular, so of course he remembered that.
So they got some play on Howard Stern. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, because of JD. Howard Stern just discovered what LARPing was. So
Oh, really?
This should be
Now.
kind of amusing
Just
because
now.
of
So,
Wolfie.
yeah, these next few
Because of
shows ought to
Wolfie.
be
Yeah.
interesting, or at least the next one, or
'Cause
soon.
Wolfie loves to go to the cons and.
We're about a month away from AGT starting up again. Oh, shit. I'm sure you're all excited about it. Last week, I also mentioned Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show, and there was a rumor that Joan Jett was inducting Nirvana, and there was also a rumor that nobody was. Well, it turns out she did.
Is that right?
And 3 other female artists inducted them as well. They did 4 songs altogether. And then after the fact, they all played like a 4-hour show in a secret club, unannounced show in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn.
And they played a whole bunch of songs with a whole bunch of guest artists in the front. First time since 20 years ago. So that was kind of interesting. I watched some of it on YouTube, and it's more somber than anything. So I'm just like, yeah, you can really see who was the band in that situation. Not that these are bad renditions, but it's just, it's not the same.
Was she singing the vocals?
Yeah, Joan Jett does Teen Spirit with them. Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth did Aneurysm. And Lord, the 17-year-old singer from New Zealand, did All Apologies with them. So it's interesting.
Wow.
So wasn't even alive.
Wasn't even alive when he was.
No, he wasn't. Not if he was like 17.
Wasn't.
I mean,
yeah.
Lord, it's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
A girl. Okay. Girl, 17 years old.
Okay.
And I guess, is this weekend? I think this is weekend 2 of Coachella going on right now.
No.
And we were
Sunday.
looking at that last week. Yeah, 420 tomorrow.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Looking for the Easter Bunny. Or the Easter Beagle.
Are we? No, you got to work. Hey, you got the day off, right?
Yeah, I don't work on Easter.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's just a nice day of just nothing for
let's
me.
Go let's go to the Pima County Fair.
Oh,
the Pima County Fair is going on?
I'm saving my money for Comic-Con. 7 weeks. I got shoes.
We can see Cottonmouth, dude.
Wow, new shoes.
Dude, we can see Cottonmouth Kings.
Well, we could have seen Megadeth. We could have seen Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots. He was over there. But I got to save every penny now that we're Jay and Silent Bob podcast. Got to save money for that. That was
motherfucker.
$46 altogether.
46 for one ticket?
Yeah, because fees.
Their fees.
What kind of fees?
Facility fees.
Wipe your ass with special toilet paper fees, or what? $46?
Well, that's if you pay a little bit more.
Oh. That's if you actually do want to use the bathroom.
And you can still go to the Brian Posehn show that's going on at the exact same time for half the money.
What time?
7 o'clock.
Oh, I see.
You could see both.
I could do that one.
You could do both.
I should. I totally am. I'm going to do that.
There's still like 900 seats available for that one.
I'm going to do that.
Right on.
Fuck it.
Then represent.
I mean, I had a hell of a time last year at Comic-Con. I could use some freaking laughs this year.
Yeah.
This
is going to be a stress-free Comic-Con.
That's like 2 pieces of pizza.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those giant pizza.
I'm gonna bring bologna. I'm gonna bring.
But their
when I went to
really
Costco
good,
yesterday, I realized we bypassed the section of Costco we should have shopped.
Is that right?
There's this section where they have all these not necessarily granola bars, but you can buy a big box of these things, and I think we get a lot more for our money than a plate of cookies.
Well,
it'll go a lot further,
Yeah, but how big a plate of cookies was it?
No,
how many cookies were on there?
I ate like one of those.
Just one. One cookie.
I ate the rest of them.
He ate the rest of all these. How many cookies
I
was
ate
there?
the sour cream and onion chips. We talked about that.
So it was me, you, and Ray that did the shopping, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we.
Last year Comic-Con.
Yeah, and this year
what a riot
look
that
at this
was!
other
Good
section.
eats.
And we just saw cookies, and we were like, we got to get cookies.
Yeah. We were looking in the fresh stuff. We need to look in the prepackaged section because I saw all sorts of stuff. I'm like, we got to get that, and it's affordable, and we'd be bringing food home with us.
That's the idea.
Instead of going, I need a $7, $8 piece of pizza, I can be like, I can go back to the room and eat one of those little candy bar things real quick, and then I'm full.
Or you can
that's you.
Or I could carry it with me.
Carry it in your pocket and be like, hey, I'm thinking about buying that pizza. Let me eat 2
But
of
I
these
don't
candy
have
bars
to. I'll eat that.
and
Yeah.
see if I feel better now.
Exactly.
That's it. That's like instead of going and having a cigarette, you got the patch on. You got to think about
It's
it.
all that walking,
Walking. Yeah, see, that's what made me hungry. Normally at home, I only eat maybe once a day because I don't do much, and so I don't just eat for the sake of eating. But when we were at Comic-Con, man, all this walking and huffing and puffing, and
I even walked today a little bit.
I was starving to death that whole trip. These assholes wouldn't feed me. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like The Walking Dead. I could have blended in and done the zombie walk naturally.
What a heck of a show we had here today.
Yeah, it's like 2 shows in one. Well, it makes up for the abortion of a month ago.
I only listened to the first half of that, and everything seemed to be going really great.
Well, that's the magic of editing.
Well, I'm hoping you put a bit of the negative parts in at the end, just so people can get like a little insight.
The budget cuts have cut back on the overhead pages.
We haven't gotten one all
In a month or more.
past 42 minutes.
Or last month either.
Was there one last month?
No.
Nope.
Oh, last
Maybe
month.
there was. I don't remember.
No, there wasn't. I would specifically remember that.
There might have been one right at the very beginning.
It's a cluster, I tell you.
Well, it was a good commercial for Punk Rock Tuesdays,
It was.
essentially.
Punk Rock Tuesday is cool.
I'm still waiting for Funk
Shane,
Rock Wednesdays.
Shane, he's one of the owners of Space, their space.
Big Brother.
That's coming up too.
Big
Let's say 11 weeks or less for Big Brother. 11 weeks.
You'll be fresh back from Comic-Con looking for some diversion, and then Big Brother will start.
You could watch a whole season of
They've
it while
already
you're
filmed
getting
it.
ready.
They've already filmed it.
They probably did. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's-
Even if it's fake, they do a great job of doing some fake because they suck me in every year.
Well, with this new 3D interactive television, it's simulated live TV using simulated people.
That's
And
what'll be replacing us.
Yeah, avatars, basically avatars. Hey, caller, how's it going, man? Lady?
Hey, what's up, brothers? How you doing?
All right, what's up with you?
Thank
Not
you for
much.
paying
I'm a
for cable.
long-time listener, long-time fan of the Forbidden Zone.
That was a
Back
long
in
time
the
ago.
day.
That's this guy right here. Him and
High school days.
yeah,
Yes.
high school days.
In about a decade ago, also.
Back when he looked the same except younger.
Don't forget about the Robert years.
Well, back in those days,
Don't
I was
forget
a
about the
strapping
fat boy
young
years
20-plus, 21-year-old guy.
Yeah,
I'm an old fart.
You go.
You go. Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
You go.
got a quick question, man. Any of you guys follow? I know it's fake as heck. Didn't cuss. Fake as heck, but it's still fun to watch. Professional wrestling. What do you guys think? Should Brock Lesnar have ended the Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania?
Oh, we have an expert
it
on
away for
that.
the last
This man
few
over here
minutes
who's
here.
off camera.
Well, in my opinion,
This was overshadowed.
Undertaker should always, you should always go out on your back. It would have been embarrassing, I think, for him to win a match against a guy like Brock Lesnar, who's like 20 years. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he's way younger. Brock Lesnar is in the best shape of any professional wrestler.
So if he won and retired, that's kind of lame.
And I'd heard years ago when Brock Lesnar was wrestling in the UFC, the Undertaker told him that when he loses, he wants to lose to Lesnar.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, I read all the dirt sheets about that and
Yeah.
everything. But hey, Lesnar's
Well-
got the life. He's married to Sable, blah blah blah. So hey,
Yeah.
Sting coming WWE or what?
I assume he's going to come, but they basically wanted him to come to wrestle the Undertaker. I know that Sting, that was what he wanted,
Yeah.
but
Sting wanted to wrestle the
I'm
Undertaker.
assuming Sting will still show up.
Two old guys
And
grappling
the
in the ring.
Undertaker will
Too old.
probably never see him again. He's going to be on. I know he's going to do the Stone Cold podcast here in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
So
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I got
check that
to
out.
get back to work. I'm calling from work. Hey, my fellow wrestling big head Jim Click Jr. wants to say hi.
Hey, how's it going
Oh,
there?
yeah, there's a raffle where you can help support this
That's
place
right.
also.
Help
I
support
was
this
supposed to
place.
mention
Thank
that.
you, Jim Click Jr. Dad.
AccessTucson.org.
And Junior, if
You
you're
can-
involved.
You can raffle for this vehicle at Jim Click's giving away.
And all the proceeds go to public access.
Well, I know his son used to do a show here.
Right,
Chris
yeah, he was
Click.
pretty good at
And
it,
it was
too.
a wrestling show.
Yeah, I
he's
used to
quite
watch it all
knowledgeable.
the
See,
time.
full
I
circle.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
I
was
enjoyed
sad
it
to
too.
see that show go or stop producing that show.
That was during the second golden
Brock
age down here.
Lesnar, he's the future of wrestling. He'll destroy us all.
The future.
Who can argue it? Even
Andre the Giant rules.
He's been dead
So do the
for over
Beatles,
20
but
years.
what good does that do anymore?
Oh, you didn't know he was dead? He's been dead for 20
Andre
years.
the Giant's been dead for like 30
A lot of
years.
people don't know
Still
people
alive,
are
dude.
dead. It's crazy.
Joan of Arc died centuries ago.
And people don't know this.
Oh,
because if
well,
it's not in the
I
news
just
every
recently
day,
found
you don't
out.
know about this stuff.
Oh, I didn't get to my thing to see if Eric would come up. What I do to see if Eric will come up here and be like, and now it's time for the after show.
No after show tonight. Tune in next week.
GMR